You probably have one person in your life, hopefully not a few, but one person in your life who, for different reasons, when you want it or need it the most, won't give you praise, won't give you the acknowledgement that you deserve for something. They won't give you credit, and you can't quite figure out why. This could be a family member, a parent, or a really close sibling to you. This could be a romantic partner or maybe even a best friend, the kind of person who you would think would be a cheerleader for you. When you do something good or something exciting happens for you, you would expect that they would give you some praise, a little shout out, but they don't. And this leaves you often feeling really confused, wondering why? Why wouldn't they? It feels often as if they are being withholding. And so you wonder, why won't they give me that? It's the littlest thing, and that's amazing, or good job, or truly for them to say this and actually look like they feel it. I'm so happy for you. Why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. And the first reason is often very simple. If they were to give you praise, it could threaten their identity. Their identity. They may actually feel like they need to be the one who is the impressive one or the competent one. They may feel like they need to be the one who gets attention for being the special one. So there's not enough attention to go around. And so it's like a scarcity mindset. They sort of hoard that attention, that sort of recognition, and they don't want to share it. So, this is one of the main reasons why a lot of people will not give someone the praise that they deserve. The second reason is because for some, this takes away their sense of power. For some people, this is very twisted, but it happens with a lot of people. Well, they see attention, recognition, praise as power. And they tell themselves this is often unconscious, meaning they are not aware of it, but they often tell themselves if they were to give someone else praise and really acknowledge them and recognize them, that it would make them less powerful. When this is the reason, when it's about power, and you look carefully at that person's behavior, you will see that they rarely compliment others, because that is like giving away power for them. So they rarely do it. When this is the reason, and you look at that person's behavior and you look at how they are with people in general, you'll often realize it's not just you. A lot of times they do this with everyone. They don't really show praise to anyone. With these people, you almost feel like you are having to earn just basic recognition, just basic acknowledgement. Somehow you feel like you're rendered in this position where you've got to earn it. That's how rarely some people will praise others. And it has to do with giving away power. Now, the next reason is one that's common and it will seem less malicious to you. Some of the other reasons can seem almost like someone is being cruel. They're not often intending to be cruel, but it can feel cruel, that withholding behavior. But this next reason is really not cruel at all. It helps you to understand sort of the complex mindset of a person who refuses to give you praise. And that's because they are uncomfortable with emotion. Some people won't praise you because they know that praise is going to elicit an interaction, an emotional interplay between the two of you. So if someone praises you, you will all of a sudden feel warm and happy and excited. You may say something when you feel those emotions, you may say something to them back that is emotional. Thank you so much, or I appreciate it, or oh, that's so sweet. Well, when you do that, that person sees all that emotion on your face that you feel. And for people who aren't comfortable with emotion, that can feel messy. It can feel messy and complicated. Like actually, that person might feel like, well, I don't really know what to do. I'm uncomfortable. It makes me feel nervous. So it's not always a malicious or nefarious reason why somebody won't give you praise. Sometimes it's simply just They're uncomfortable with emotion overall. This next reason is one of the most frustrating reasons. The person may not give you praise because all they do is they tend to focus on mistakes. What is wrong? They may see a situation or walk into a situation. They may hear about a situation, and all the information they hear, all those details, all they do is they zoom right in to the negative, to what was wrong, to what didn't make sense, to what should have been done differently, to the flaw, to the mistake, to the error. Now, a lot of times, this is sort of how the person's brain works. Some people's brains seem to be more wired to look for the patterns and specifically to zoom in on, to hone in on what's broken, what needs fixing. And they almost can't seem to help themselves in that moment. It's like a compulsive reaction to finding things that are wrong in situations or finding things that are wrong with people. So, this is one of the reasons why they are simply not prone as a default to focus on the positive, to encourage others, to see the big picture. They are detail oriented and, most importantly, detail oriented to the negative. To the negative. It's like a laser. That's what it feels like to you, probably. And the final reason that I want to talk about is because they don't feel like they get recognition in their life either. They don't feel like they get it. So it doesn't occur to them to give it to others. It's almost like a sort of language, an emotional language that they operate from. Praise and recognition, well, I didn't get it, so I'm not giving it out easily. And some people like this, if they do praise somebody else, it's only because they're in a social situation, for example, where everybody else is acknowledging someone. So it's the socially appropriate thing to do. They have to say something. But what's important is if this is somebody that you have any kind of a relationship with, you can feel on a gut level, they don't really want to give you that praise. They don't really seem to want to make you feel good and acknowledge you in that way. And that can be frustrating and also really hurtful. Now, for those people who are like that, they may not have gotten it themselves. Maybe they grew up in a family where praise wasn't given out. Maybe they had close friendships or a romantic relationship in the past where, for years, they never got that themselves. So they are simply out of the habit of it. Here's the most important thing before I end today. If you are in some sort of relationship with someone and this happens, give yourself permission to bring it up, to say, hey, I notice when this happens, when something good for me happens, or I feel excited, I don't feel like you share in it with me. I don't feel like you really acknowledge it. Can you help me understand kind of why that is? I know everybody's different, so maybe you can kind of help me understand how you respond in those situations. Talk about it. You deserve sometimes to hear yourself say things out loud. And when you aren't getting the recognition or the praise that you want and is deserved in any close relationship, you can stick up for yourself and address it. Okay? I'm Dr. Seth, psychologist.